Welcome to a special edition of Red Narrates, where I am sufficiently liquored up. Ooh. So we're going to be doing undersea stuff in desert seas because I'm drinking, and that was the suggestion. Oh, there are barracuda. Nice. Okay, and I'm going to be drinking some beers while I do this. I love bottle caps. They're awesome. Those guys are nice and red. Look at them. Clownfish. Where's Nemo? Ooh, there's a little shrimp. So I believe this is in Saudi Arabia. Maybe. I'm not sure. Ooh, they're all encrusted with sand. And stingrays. This beer's not bad. Okay. Man, those are some pretty turtles. Look at all them. Yeah, so I am really drunk right now. And this is going to be an interesting thing. Desert seas. It's got to be Saudi Arabia because look at that. It's like Arabic script. Saudi Arabian seas like Saudi Arabian dunes. Something, something. I've got no idea what the rest of the lyrics were to this tune. Hey, Saudi Arabian dunes. Where's the Cave of Wonders? Oh, this is an oil field. You ever seen the movie The Kingdom? It's pretty crap. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. It's like a bunch of American oil workers in Saudi Arabia get fucked up by terrorists. And then the Fox dude. The Black Fox dude. What's his name? Jamie Foxx? Him and his crew like go and fucking fight him. It is 110% fucking ridiculous, man. It's entertaining, but it's really kind of insulting to the Saudis. But you know what? Fuck them. Like, when you know what they do and what they really stand for, why are we even allied with these people? I mean, sure, they gave us bases to attack Iraq and shit, but fuck. I like the Kuwaitis, too. I don't know too much about the Kuwaitis. Maybe they're good, maybe they're not. But I don't like the Sauds, man. But it's all the British influence in the region, really. Kind of set them up. This all goes back to, like, Lawrence of Arabia. My God, like, one of the most iconic scenes is when he's sitting there in the desert. It's after the train attack on the Turkish train. And he's there in the white robes, and you have the music playing, and the wind's blowing the white robes, and it's fucking fantastic. Hey, look at those little spotted guys. So, okay, I'm assuming that little fish is cleaning up for parasites. Yeah, because it's like going in the mouth. And cleaning its gills out, too. That's cool. I mean, you got a lot of symbiotic stuff in the ocean like that. Hey, moray eel? Moray eel? Oh, I'm a little too blitzed to really know what I'm talking about. Those shrimp are so cool, though. Look, they're so translucent. I used to have ghost shrimp. And the ghost shrimp weren't that translucent. I mean, these guys, all they have is a couple of spots. You can't even really see their internal organs. That is so cool. But yeah, I'm assuming they go in and then they pick out all the little parasites and stuff. And those guys, they've got like an inner set of teeth, man. They're like mosasaur, where they have their front teeth, excuse me, and they have their inner teeth, and it comes forward to grab prey and kind of like walk it back. And there's one guy that got like his whole thumb ripped off by it. That's fucking nuts. But there's clownfish of the sea anemones, and look at all the fish, man. This is just like bursting with life. I really hope there's nothing that happens to this area, like a, BP oil spill or some shit. It might still show fuck. Mesopotamia, Syria, Persia, Arabia, Egypt. Look at that. That is so cool. A fucking fortress on the hill, man. Wow. I would love to go there if the people weren't so bad. I mean, not all of them are, but you have like the radical Islamists that just because I'm an American want to kill me. But I would love to see the Arabian Desert and North Africa, but I don't dare go. I mean, when when we were there with the Army, at least the military had support. But I wouldn't have any support going there, so I mean, I'm not going to chance it. But yeah, that's a nice little shallow, sandy sea. Is this the Red Sea then? What the fuck is this? This might be the Arabian Gulf. I don't know. It's pretty. It's not as pretty as the reefs, like the other reefs, but it's not bad. You got your little sea turtle kind of swimming through there. Just moseying on along. Yeah, I mean, that stuff it looks like just rock formations, really. I know it's coral, but there's no color definition to it. It doesn't pop like other parts of it do. Those guys are kind of interesting. Oh, they're squid. Oh my god. I'm so blitzed. I didn't know what the fuck I was looking at. Yeah, they're totally squid. Or cuttlefish. But I thought their eyes were like some peacock marking on their tails. I couldn't figure that out. They have just the coolest skin thing. Like, my skin has this weird pattern where it'll put random pigment in, and then it changes over time. But I can't control that at will. But the cuttlefish and the squid totally can. They can change their pigment patterns and kind of blend in with the seafloor. And there's some really cool stuff where they did like checker patterns, and they blend into that. And I think this guy is called a stonefish. But those are pretty. I bet you they sting like all hell, though. Excuse me if I'm like burping too much. I've got so much carbonation in my belly from this beer. Nice little stingray. Stingray is pretty good eating. I've had that a couple times. I'd assume not all stingray. Like, it was tragic what happened to Steve Irwin, but really, what a nice way to go, honestly. I mean, you go doing what you love, and you're out in a flash. That's kind of how I want to go. Or, if I had like some cancer, so what the fuck are those? Is it like a floating barcode? Yeah, you tell me, little goby fish or whatever. Oh, there's a snake. Sea snake. Snake in the seagrass. He's kind of pretty. Bet you he's very venomous. What the fuck are those floating things, though, man? I ain't got no clue. So, I guess he's going into the burrows and looking for fish. How long can they hold their breath underwater? I'm not sure. What is this? Oh, it's a turtle. Okay. It was the remoras underneath that were kind of throwing me off. Those things are so weird. Like, they got a suction cup head, and they're just nuts. But there's a guy on YouTube that I was watching who caught some in Florida and cooked them up, and he fried them up. Said it was like some of the most delicate fish he'd ever eaten. But you probably won't ever catch me in the ocean because it's just too goddamn much water for anybody. Like, where I live, there's so little water, and I'm fine with that. I don't know how people deal with tons and tons of water. It's insane to me. And especially if you got like the ocean and you have sharks and other shit. Like, I don't mind sharks, and yeah, they don't really attack humans too much, but I'm not gonna hop in there. Oh, look at the little crab. Cute little nipper. But I'm not really gonna go. He's like, come at me, bro. I'm not gonna go into the ocean and fuck around with a shark. So, I mean, they can stay where they're at, and I'll stay where I'm at. I would like to go dive and look at the coelacanths, though, in Madagascar. That's so cool, because they still exist down there. They're, I think, getting endangered. But they're at like a depth of 400 feet. And they're not exactly like what's in the fossil record, but they're still pretty damn cool. Oh, look at all the spots on that. See, this is where they get a lot of the aquarium fish. Hey, a little lionfish. And I don't know. I think that's a parrotfish. That's an angel. I don't know most of the names of them. I got a lot of the names off of Tanked, which is a good show. Like, if you've never seen it. But some of the people that buy the fish tanks in that, I've got all the goddamn money in the world. My God. But I mean, yeah, like these little coral bits with all these little orange fish is really fascinating. It almost looks like raspberry clusters there. Hmm. Like I'm not a beer man, but this Coors Banquet's actually pretty agreeable. I think that's a trigger or something. Look at them, all the pulsating guys. It's so cool. Is that a crab? I guess. Is that elk horn? What do you call those? That is fascinating. It's like all just little spindly bits. Almost looks like diagrams of the lungs, like with all little alveoli or whatever. I mean, I don't know anatomy very well. Probably fucked up that name horribly, but like when you take apart lungs and you dissect them, kind of looks like that. And those guys are supposedly really good eating. I mean, people in Florida eat them all the time, and you're encouraged to kill them because I think they're an invasive species. But they have like a really nice, delicate fillet, is what I've been told. So if I go to Florida, I'd like to go down and do some spearfishing. I love spearfishing, man. I don't I don't swim very much, but like I've done spearfishing here in the Mojave, which sounds kind of counterintuitive, but I have a fish spear and I go after one. Those yellow jacks. I think those are yellow jacks because of the yellow stripe. I've never eaten those ones. Man, when I was a kid, oh yeah, well, spearfishing in the Mojave, I do that sometimes for carp and trout and stuff at the reservoirs, and it's pretty fun. But when I was a kid, I really wanted to be a marine biologist, and I used to study this stuff all the time, but that was uh, 27, 26 years ago that I kind of lost interest in that. But yeah, so they're all kind of chasing the shoal. And are they as intelligent as dolphins, where they'll get them going in on themselves? I don't know. They're pretty. I'm sure they taste great. What is that? Is that like? Is this a cliff or something? That's a nice little shrimp. Look at his little pincers go. Oh, excuse me, I got a bit of a runny nose. It always seems to happen when I drink a lot. I get a runny nose. I don't know why that is. And I gotta pee a lot too. But you know what? We've got 30 minutes left. I'll just hold it. So those guys, like when you're a kid and you draw a fish and you draw it with one continuous line, like the Presbyterian, I believe, has the fish symbol. That's what those things look like because they have such a thin tail. Saudi Arabia, and there's Qatar, a little teeny thing, and Kuwait. Okay, so we're in the Gulf now. And what are we going to be doing? Are there any dolphins down here? I mean, there's seabirds. I bet you those guys don't taste very good. They don't look like they're very tasty. If you haven't noticed by now, and you've been following me for a while, I do want to know what a lot of things taste like because I've eaten a lot of animals. But stuff like cormorants and what's the other name for them? Anyways, those type of birds, loons and stuff, aren't very tasty. I've had a couple of them before and was not impressed. Duck is good though. Oh, look at a little baby shivering. You can't help but like feel bad for it. Because it looks like a helpless featherless chicken. Or no, what it really looks like is that goose in Christmas Story. Where they go to the Chinese restaurant and the mother freaks out because the goose still has the head on it. That's kind of what that looked like. And so those ones have pouches, but the adult doesn't. Maybe it's just the one sex that has the pouches. Oh, seagulls getting at a chick there too. And I guess you got seagulls everywhere. I mean, we fucking have seagulls here in Utah. Not really down where I'm at, but more up Salt Lake because of the Great Salt Lake. But we got California gulls there. And I guess they're just going to eat the chick. Yep. Well, I mean, it's tragic in one way, but in reality, at least nothing goes to waste. It's got to be bloody hot there, though. I don't know if they're calling, but It looks like there's some heat shimmer too, so they're probably just trying to cool down. We should have some beer. I think Saudi Arabia is like a dry country. Maybe you can have beer there if you're an American tourist or something. Yeah, look at all that heat shimmer. It gets a little bit hotter there than it does here, which is crazy. But those guys are cool. I like how they all fly in kind of formation and they go up and down. And they all know what they're doing. I believe these are cormorants. Brits might call them like the sea crow or the shag or something. I'm not British, and all I remember is the poem. The sea crow or common shag, whatever, lays its eggs in a paper bag. I got no idea why I remember that right now, but I do. They're just so inelegant when they're that young. I mean, they're just like walking turkeys. He doesn't have his flight feathers or anything, and he looks so ridiculous. Look at him waddle. He looks so stupid. But I guess that's a human view on it. To them, they probably look normal. Oh, excuse me, my nose. I'm just gonna call these ones like dumb chickens. I don't know what they are. Look at that. It's trying to shove its head all the way up at the parent's throat. There's a heron. Okay, that one I know for sure, because I've seen those a lot in river systems and stuff. Man, the herons we get out here are pretty big. Yeah, fuck them up. Take him out. What are you doing? Was it fish? Or was it regurgitation? It's something small, so it's probably regurgitation. Are those flies around there too, or is that just wind? Oh, it must just be the wind because of the waves in the background. Okay, there's one beer done, and I've still got... I don't even know if I want to chance another one. But man, that's getting really windy. So hang on a sec. It's almost like sandstorm type wind. That's pretty cool. Alright, sorry about that. I had to pee horribly bad like a racehorse. So now we're back at excuse me, at 18 minutes out of 46 minutes. Yeah, there's the remora on the sea turtle. Is the sea turtle dead? I don't know. Do they just sit on the bottom like that? He's moving. I don't know what's going on there. I'm going to move my blanket around here so I can prop myself up a bit more. And then you get a cloud of sand from the what's that sea dragon? Holy shit. Stingray. Like, words are just not in my repertoire right now. I'm 4 beers in. Num, 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 num. Oh, look how cute he is. Just munching on stuff. I'm 4 beers in and a couple shots of bourbon. I'm a lightweight, though, so it's really easy to get me drunk. I got 2 beers left, and I'm really debating opening another one. I might have to pee. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do it. Let's just open it up while this guy takes off. There we go. Pretty sure I got that on microphone. Put that in my overall pouch for later, because I love me some bottle caps. I love these bottles, too. I mean, they're little... excuse me, the little squat bottles. So, I don't think that's a man of war, because it doesn't have the really long tentacles, but it is a really big jellyfish. What's all this stuff up top? Is that krill? Are those the floating barcodes again? And then you got some cormorants going through there. I mean, I don't know what exactly they're after. It's got to be fish, obviously. But I don't know any of the species names. I don't really know any of the stuff. Look at all the migratory birds. Those are so cool. Might want to mute that part. Are they... What the fuck's up with their faces? Well, shark! Hey, I love whale sharks. The biggest fish around, one of the most docile. They're so cool. Do they eat plankton? I don't remember if they eat plankton or if they just eat like shoals of smaller fish. Dolphins! I was wondering if they're going to show up. So, everybody loves dolphins and they're fun and all that, but they're also some of the most murdery and rapey animals out there. They rape each other for fun, which sounds horrific, and anybody that's worked with dolphins for extended periods of time can tell you it is, because they've tried to rape humans before. Not a good time. Sorry to interject a little bit of reality into that. Ooh, that's a nice shot of the sun. The fuck? Oh, it's the oil fields are on fire. So I guess this is footage from the Iraq War. Not the Iraq War. Desert Storm. I remember this. I was in third grade, I believe. Yeah, and then you have Jake Gyllenhaal saying the earth is bleeding, and, I think Jamie Foxx is telling him fuck off with that poetic shit. Fucking flies again, dude. Okay, so we had that shot. Why did you put that shot in there? Was it important? And now you're back to just birds flying around. Are they going to land in oil? I mean, what the fuck was the whole point of the shot? Look at all the bird shit up there on the platform, too. Alright, so I guess that's an abandoned oil rig. What the fuck are we doing? Why are you just cutting through all these shots, man? I mean, up until this point, and now we're back at a map that's like glitching out. What the fuck is going on? I don't know, but like up to that point, we had kind of a cohesive narrative. Ooh, waves underwater. But then we just showed like oil burns in Kuwait and stuff, and birdship platform. It makes no sense. And look how they're all staying together. That's pretty cool. The anemones. Now, are clownfish like in the Great Barrier Reef too, and Indonesia, or is it just in the African waters? Are they in American waters as well? Somebody who knows marine biology can probably answer that for me. I mean, I don't know shit. I'm a desert dweller. What the fuck is up with their heads? I'm a desert dweller, so I don't really know. Dude, you all got like tumors or some shit. Is there a reason for that? Is it for like mating, or do you bash each other in the face or something? Why do you have such a big head? Are you like Pachycephalosaurus? Is that the right term? Is that the right word? I don't know. Hey, those guys look like catfish almost. Little barbels. What the fuck is that? It's like a sea slug or something. Dude, that's like almost Lovecraftian nightmare shit. Holy crap. So I take it they move really slow. Oh god. What the fuck am I watching? Please excuse my bodily functions. I mean, if you've been drunk, then you know how it is when you drink a lot of beer. Spiky Star. That's cool. I wonder if you throw it at a board, would it stick? Okay, so I think that's a trigger. I'm not sure. There's just way too many fish species. Oh, yeah, he got him. Are you going to eat him? Or are you just like carrying him off to somewhere else? Can you eat him? Do you have like the necessary jaws and stuff for that? See, you look at this shit and I do. I think back to like the Burgess Shell, where you have all the weird shit like hallucinogenia and the trilobites and conodonts, I believe. There's something. It was one of them. Fuck, I'm trying to remember. But this shit has just been going on in the sea forever. Hey, he's poking his head out. So what the, whoa. I thought, oh my god, those guys are like super long fish. Are they eels? I would have, like, if they hadn't zoomed in, hey, there's a little mud skipper or something. If they hadn't zoomed in, I would have assumed that they would have been, like, grass. Now, that stingray doesn't really have the barb on his tail, but he's very pretty with the blue spots. He looks awesome. And then the yellowtail there, that's kind of cool. So, I guess most stingrays have, like, the sense the sharks do, where they can go over stuff and have all like the electrical ability to pick up the nerves and synapses firing from other fish, so they know where prey is. And as I keep going on and on, my voice is getting a little rougher, but that's kind of cool. I mean, maybe it makes me a little bit more attractive to the ladies. Who knows? But those little, I know they're not mud skippers, but they've got like the fins that sit on the bottom that kind of keep them propped up. I guess they're around for any scraps. So, white-tipped reef shark? I don't know. I'm not up on my sharks. And those are the barracuda. Now, as a kid, I loved barracuda. I used to watch Flipper, and what I remember about them is there was a diver or a swimmer who had like a medal or some kind of medallion around her neck that flashed if the barracuda attacked it and bit her. Maybe that wasn't in Flipper. That might have been something else. But I remember it being in Flipper. But my memory from childhood about shows like that is kind of fucked up. Especially when I'm intoxicated. But look at how many there are. I could, make the joke, ooh, barracuda, but I'm a little too drunk to sing right now. Whoa, look at that. What are we doing, guys? Where are we going? It's like, I love watching how they just change direction instantly. It's so cool. And I guess the barracuda just swarm around them. All right, now we're going to a sunset. Why are we going to a sunset? Why don't you stick with the barracuda? Did you run out of footage? Did they do nothing else? I mean, what's the point of showing this island? It's just an island in the ocean. Now we're back to the moray eel. Moray? Mora? I think it's moray. I don't know. And now we're doing fast view. Oh, is this all going to be under ultraviolet light? Because if so, that is super cool. I guess not. Is that a brittle star? Look at how thin that is, man. That's cool, though. I mean, it's like plants. And I'm no biologist, but I wonder if a lot of the plants that ended up on land originally started out as kind of like coral or something. But I don't know. Lionfish, though, they are very pretty, but they've also got like venom in their spines. And if I remember right, they're incredibly destructive to native species when they're in environments that they shouldn't be. So, like I was saying earlier, in Florida, they actively encourage people to kill lionfish and eat them. And I would really, really like to have some. Oh, those are interesting little nodules. It like in Skyrim, you have the Charos eggs, and that's what it kind of reminds me of, but it doesn't glow like them. Or like baby corn. Baby corn. The fuck is baby corn anyways? Is it like especially bred kind of corn that only produces really tiny ears that you eat the entirety of? Or is it like an unrelated plant? I mean, it tastes like corn, so it's got to be some type of maize. Is it like a genetic mutant or something? I don't know. Are we flying over the ocean now? What the fuck are we doing? Dolphins. And stingrays that fly. That is fucking cool. I didn't know that existed. Go back to the stingray. Fuck the dolphins, man. We see dolphins all the time. I want to see the stingrays, man, jumping out of the water. Damn it. fucking show. Now we're back to the map. Okay. So I guess we're going back to the Arabian Gulf. Saudi Arabia! So, are we on the Iraqi side of things? What are we doing? Guy's got spots like a leopard. And these sea turtles have these really big fat tails. And are they leatherbacks? I don't know. Their shells aren't that big. What is that? Oh, two rays mating. Oh, weird. So, like, I know some shark species carry their young. Do rays do that? Do they have mermaids' purses like sharks do? The ones that don't carry their young? I don't know. Bull sharks give birth to live young, don't they? I'm not sure. Sea turtles, I guess, are mating now. It's kind of interesting. Like, in reality, if evolution was ordained by a higher power to be the easiest way possible to mate, you wouldn't have some of this totally fucked up shit. Like, I mean, just look at these sea turtles, man. They have to go through quite an ordeal just to fuck, and it's ridiculous. It's super ridiculous. Evolution, though, is just good enough to pass on your genes. That's it. I mean, it's not the best suited for anything. It's just good enough to survive. It's a whole generalistic attitude. I mean, yeah, you do have finches in the Galapagos and things, which are very specific to certain types of flowers and stuff. But that's because that's what they've basically evolved to eat. But it's just good enough to get your genes passed on to the next thing. And when I look at stuff like this, I don't see a higher power behind any of it. I just see life. You know, it's constantly evolving. And I don't know if God exists or not. And that's not what I'm here to debate theology or anything. If he does, great. If he doesn't, or, you know, she, whatever the fuck you want to say, that's great too. I'm still kind of out on that. And honestly, my relationship with my personal beliefs doesn't matter if God does or does not exist. But I like to look at the science of it. I love to watch and to read books about evolutionary biology. And you see something like these two birds here and their mating rituals and all that. It's just utterly fucking fascinating to see where they came from. And, you know, birds have existed a long time. You have the birds that come from avian dinosaurs. And they've been around for quite a while, honestly. I mean, there were other proto-birds before that had different type of joints and stuff. But all the modern birds are descended from avian-type dinosaurs. But then, you know, you evolved into beaks and all of these little niche areas which they kind of just, fit into. Like these guys right here. I mean, you know, they're carrying fish and stuff, and then you've got birds in my area which have evolved to just be there and fill little things like finches and whatnot. But when you get down to the nitty-gritty of it, it is so fucking cool that life, and to quote Jeff Goldblum, finds a way. I mean, you know, if there's an exploitable area for life to thrive, it will thrive there. And you see that in bacteria too, that are in like the crushing depths of the earth, in crystal caves and stuff, where they survive in conditions that nothing else that we know of could honestly survive. Or like water bears are so cool. Hey, more heat shimmer. But like these guys here, I mean, look at all those birds there on the sand, and they've all adapted to that type of area where they catch fish and then they just mate on the sand. That's their whole life. In another few million years, they'll probably evolve into something else. And, you know, maybe some of them like it higher up on the rocks than in the sand, so they'll evolve to be cliff dwellers. But it's so cool just to watch these nature documentaries and just to see how life progresses and how life actually is, and like animal behavior and stuff. There was a bluegill. And talking about animal behavior and kind of getting away from this for just a second, is one of those mud skipper dudes. But there was a bluegill that I remember throwing in bologna to in a pond. And it got a piece that was a little too big for it, and it ran with it, and it wasn't going to let any other bluegills have it. And it was just, to me, a really cool insight into animal behavior where even though it knew it was too big for it to eat, it wasn't going to share. So, like these guys right here, okay? So you got the shrimp and the goby or whatever that live in the same burrow. The shrimp is moving everything out, is cleaning them out. The goby probably protects the shrimp, and the shrimp probably cleans everything for the goby. And I don't know if it's called goby. I have no idea, honestly, what it's called. But it looks like what I've seen species-wise goby. So, and I guess that's a parrotfish, maybe. So, yeah, the shrimp's going back down in, and then coming out with handfuls of sand, making the burrow bigger and stuff. But it's just these crazy symbiotic relationships that, how did this develop? I mean, these two species are just completely different. One's a crustacean and one's a fish that has a spine, and the crustacean doesn't. It's an arthropod. But it's so cool. There's another shark. I gotta take another drink here. But I don't know, life is so fascinating to me. I mean, there's a billion different ways that it evolves to fill all these little things. Like all these little guys here are so cool, and all the coral, and it's all such a set system that if you introduce something like oil, or if you introduce something like too much salt in the solution, it just dies. It's such a finely tuned system that works. And we shouldn't be fucking with it, really, if we can help it. I mean, this is not an environmental message. Save the environment and all that shit. I believe that the Earth will be here long after we're gone. But we should be as minimally invasive as possible. We do need places to live. But for shit like this, I mean, we're not building on the coast here with all these seabirds. So we should just leave them the fuck alone. But that's really cool. That's a nice shot there. You're going to need a couple like Hueys going in towards the sun. What the fuck? Sea turtles? Yeah, okay, so they're digging nests and they're going to be laying their eggs. And I know it's illegal in America to get sea turtle eggs. I hope it's illegal there too. That's the other thing though, is like their life expectancy is so minimal that it takes an awful lot of eggs to produce just one survivor that gets up to the point where they can breed, because everything eats them. Oh, look at that. Look at that ship. That is so cool. I want to go around and I want to look at all these wrecks, man. I'm sure there's tons of them. Those fucking oil derricks and city and shit. That's the price of human progress. To get to where we're at, this is the kind of, that's actually a really cool shot. This is the kind of stuff that we need for our technology as it stands. And I'm not saying let's not do this, because, I mean, look, I love having a car when I had one. And I love driving. And I love consuming oil and all that other stuff. That's a cool shot during the night and all that. But there comes a point where you need to do it safely, so you don't fuck up shit like this. What is that underwater? Is it a pipe? Or is it a ship? Oh, it's a sunken ship. That's cool. I would never dive on one of those, though. I'd be so scared of getting caught and not knowing which way's up. It's not like an avalanche, too, where you can spit and figure that out. You just be totally stuck in there. Man, going through the halls. Alright. Pausing. Alright, and we're back again. I had to pee once again. And we are at 39 minutes and 20 seconds right now. If I do this again, I'm going to be doing hard liquor, because it gets me drunk longer. And I don't have to pee as much, man. And this is really cool, though. Like, seeing all the growth on the inside of the ship. And seeing the fish in there. And all those little minnowy type guys. I mean, they're pretty fascinating, where they have their tails are kind of translucent. I don't know if you could use them as bait. Like, I'm sure something bigger eats them, but there's so many of them there. I think it would be kind of useless to use them as bait. And all those little red ones, those are cool guys. And you got the raspberry clusters again, and the little elk horns or something like that. Why do they call them elk horns? I mean, that's so stupid. It's not a horn; it's an antler. I mean, they're two totally different structures. And there's a lot of places too that are like called Elkhorn Hollow or Elkhorn this, Elkhorn that, and it's a fucking antler, dude. Come on, I mean, get your shit straight, seriously. But I mean, I guess they call them Elkhorn coral, and they really just call them elk antler coral. But elk is a European deer too. I mean, I know the North American elk's a little different. It's wapiti or whatever, but I don't know. I mean, I've never hunted in Europe, and I don't have any. What the fuck are you doing? Are you dying or some shit? You ever see with Don Knotts, the movie where he becomes a fish, and he's got like this overbite and these teeth? That's what that fish looks like. I didn't dream that, right? That's real. It's got to be fucking real. Yeah, because he like did some weird sonar thing to get the torpedo to follow him. Did I fucking seriously dream that? I couldn't have fucking dreamt that. That's got to be a fucking movie from like the 50s or 60s, man. Where Don Knotts... Is it Don Knotts? Maybe it's not Don Knotts, but like some dude becomes a fish and for some reason they fire a torpedo at him. And he's got to get it away from the fucking ships or something. What the fuck, dude? I don't know. Like, I'm so intoxicated right now. I'm not even sure what the fuck's real and what's not. I'm gonna have to look that one up later. The fabulous Mr. Something. I don't remember. I just keep thinking of Bob Hope in like a sword fighting movie. And then at the end of it, he says something like, to the effect of, if you want to see him stab me, hold up your popcorn or something like that. And if you don't want to see him stab me, hold up your chocolate bars. And then he's like, oh, what? This theater doesn't serve chocolate bars or something? I mean, I'm going totally off the rails. Well, I mean, that's what you tune in for. You wanted me to go fucking crazy on this. Because, if you knew I was doing it drunk. But, so here we are at night. Bob Hope was really a nice guy, though. What the fuck? Did it split off? What the fuck was that? It totally split off. I mean, is it like a nematode or something? Look at all the shit in the water. This is why I'll never drink seawater, man. There's just too much shit in there. I mean, I wouldn't drink seawater anyways, but what the fuck are they doing? These little ribbon worms or some shit. Man, this is just utterly weird. They split again. Holy shit. What the fuck? It just became a cloud. It's got vampire abilities, man. It totally went from solid to mist. Holy shit. What is this? Are you fucking seeing the same shit I'm seeing? Look at those things. They look like little suckers. And then you got ferns and holy fuck. Hey, now that I recognize. I know what that is. It's a jelly. It's kind of cool, but that's another cool jelly. Is this like deep ocean shit? What the fuck, man? I'm still just totally mystified how that thing broke apart into like a cloud. Was it just like a string of sperm that was going nuts and then it just kind of poofed? Or was it like, a vampire where it turned into mist? What the fuck is going on? I don't know. And now we got a shot of the moon. Okay, why do we got a shot of the moon? I mean, you already established that it was the sea at night. Why are you showing the moon? Ooh, okay. So we've got the little babies coming up. So, I mean, I guess I could probably at this point sing a song that says, oh, when the moon hits your eye, the baby turtles will cry. That's Amore. But I'm not going to sing the rest of it because I don't like that song. He's like, fuck you, I'm going. Now, you don't want to be first and you don't want to be last. You want to be somewhere in the middle. And you know they're gonna get fucking eaten. That's it? Okay. So, where's all the seabirds, though? I mean, you always see the seabirds and the other stuff. Are we gonna see little baby turtles get fucked up? Because I really don't want to see that. I mean, I've got nothing against it. It's life, and, you know, it doesn't really affect me either way. But I like turtles. They're just cute. What the fuck? So we're just going through all the shit again. I guess we're just coming to the conclusion of it. And there's turtles mating once more. Yeah, we've only got like a couple, like less than a minute left. So I guess we're just recapping. Here's the Saudi Arabian Sea. Here's all the stuff that you saw fucking earlier. And here's all the stuff we're going to go on. And this shot has been going on like 3 or 4 fucking times, man. I swear to God it's the same shot. Maybe it's not. Now we got zebrafish. Where did they come from? I don't remember them before. And those 2 turtles fuck off into the sunset. Directors, all these people that made this stuff possible. Oh, this is narrated by David Attenborough. Well, I fucking kind of did him a disservice then by doing this, but whatever. So that's Saudi Arabian Seas. It's interesting.